Hi everybody, my name is Sherry. Welcome to my stamp studio. It's July, so before we get going on today's project, I'm going to just fill you in on a couple of July things and a couple of mostly July things. So every month I do thank you gifts. Usually I do a monthly kickoff special, so if you order the first couple of days of a month, you get a little bonus. This month I'm going to do that on the 6th and 7th because Stampin' Up! Has online exclusives, which this is one. So I'll talk a little bit more about that when we start the card. So the online exclusives start the 6th, and then also starting the 6th, for every $50 you spend all of July, then you'll get $5 bonus bucks to spend in August. So if you spend $200 over, it has to be in $50 increments. So every time you order, make sure it's 50 or 100 or 150. Because if it's 49 and then you order 10, they're not going to add those together. I add my things together over a month, and so I wanted to make sure that you know that Stampin' Up! Does not do that. It's in every order. And they'll send you a coupon code and then you can redeem it. That starts the 6th. So I'm doing my kickoff specials on the 6th and 7th. And then if you're on my email list, you'll get either what that is, the morning of the 5th or the morning of the 6th, depending on how my week goes. It's birthday week, it's 4th of July week, it's more wedding venue tour week, so I'm never sure exactly. And then next weekend is all wedding dresses. We have tons of wedding dress appointments. So right now I'm kind of going with the flow, and we'll see, but you'll find out about that either on the 5th or definitely by the morning of the 6th. So then my July specials this month are a little bit different. At $50, you'll get the VIP video project stuff. At $60, you will get the videos and the festive pearls. It's kind of give you a head start if you're doing any Christmas projects. But if you don't mix the red and the, really, they're not even Christmassy colors. They're called festive, but they're in gold, silver. The silver's, and then like a succulent kind of green. I don't know. Mine are in this sleeve. But you can use them. Yeah, it's like a minty succulent green. And then the red. If you don't mix the red and green, then they don't look Christmas at all. They're just pearls. But if you're starting Christmas in July projects and you need to add those in August when you get them, then you'll get that. Then at $200, you'll get the second VIP video project in addition to the first. And then at $225, you're going to get, I thought I kept my box, I can't find it, the Crafters tool tips that go on the end of the Take Your Pick tool. This is the X-Acto one. I don't have it on. I'm going to use one of them on today's project. I was going to use this one, and there's a lot going on this card, so I opted not to. This is the funnest, the most fun thing out of this, but the tip, I have already fallen in love with one of the tips. So that is, you can see there's a little guard so it doesn't stick you. I have more than one Take Your Pick tool because I don't like to switch the tips. That's why so many are missing out of that. So that's my thank you specials. Then for Card Club this month, the focus is on Timeless Charm, and then we're also going to do the new truck set as a bonus. So if you're in club, you will get the information for that. It's very, very important that you have your orders to me by the 6th, especially if you're going to do the bonus with the truck, because I have a feeling that the truck punch could go on back order. So if you're in club, you're going to get a separate email. If you join club before the 6th, then I will forward that email to you so you can have your order to me by the 5th. So this is the one that we're actually using. So my Card Club is online. Almost all of my stuff is online. I do one in-person thing a month. This is the Timeless Charm. It is an online exclusive. It starts on the 6th. There's a Hanukkah set. There's the stained glass Christmas set. There's the open sleigh, which I have shown you the paper. I didn't get the stamp set because I don't like to stamp any Christmas in June. It's really hard for me to do it in July, but I will stamp a couple of Christmas things for you. One will be with the truck. And if the truck goes on back order or sells out, then I'm done. I'm not making any more videos for something that you can't get. It's just our punches that are novelty punches like that tend to sell really quickly. So if you want that truck set, if you are in club, you're going to get an email, and in that email I will show you a picture of the set and the punch. So this is the actual set. So my Card Club, you may have seen this video. This is a fun little fold that we did on this. This is the first Card Club project. So go watch this video and it explains all about my Card Club. It's the cheapest thing that I do as far as my online classes. Because it's a subscription service, you sign up via PayPal subscriptions, which does not mean you need a PayPal. It's just a really safe way to get it to you because, you know, PayPal's super safe. And then every month, it just automatically comes to you and you don't have to do anything else unless you want to pause or cancel. So this month, it's $38. They get a half a pack of the Bright Designer Series paper. You can go to this video and see much more details. They get a full thing of the Loose Daisy embellishments, and they get a full spool of the Parakeet metallic ribbon. So that, and then the supplies and the videos to make their 6 projects. We do 3 designs, 2 of each. Then every 6 months, I do have dimensional things everywhere. Every 6 months, they get a loyalty gift. They get it on their 7th month or their 13th month or their 19th month. When you're in it for 6 months, the following month, you get a goodie bag. So there's always a random supply of stuff. And sometimes I'm like, I don't remember everything I've sent. And I try to send stuff that, you know, embellishments or chamois, something that, Stella's, that is consumable. So even if you have it, you're not getting it. So one of the things I've been wanting to do is add another little fun perk. So I'm going to start adding these. Every month, everybody in club will get one of the tags, and it will come to you in the tag. So imagine that this has been cut out. It will come, you'll get this tag. This is a little sample packet. I didn't like the smaller tag. So you'll get the tag. You'll get a tag topper. They won't be put together. It'll just be white. And then this will be one of the 2 colors that we've used that month in club. My throat is scratchy. Allergies must be back. So this will be something that we have used in a color combination in club. This is the one I'm also going to use today with today's club. So if you're in club, you can do remake this card. So I'm going to use Pebbled Path and Petal Pink. So this is just a fun way, several reasons that you can use this. One, they're going to be a color combination that we used in club. It may be, and I may try to sneak it in a couple of other projects, 1 or 2 other projects during the month. So you just get to see those colors a lot. So that's what we're going to do today. And then I'm going to use the Pebbled Path and the Petal Pink on our club projects with the truck. Because I think that's kind of a fun combination for the truck. So you'll get these 2 pieces, then you will sponge whatever colors you can use. And I will do a video on how to do this. I just didn't want to do it on the Timeless Charm. So I just used my sponge brushes and put the colors on there. And then you will get a sticker. So here's all the stickers getting ready for us to cut apart for upcoming club. And you can see they're just see-through stickers. So when you peel it off, you'll be able to put it on the top. And then on the back of these, it can be like a little system. So you can write on the back what, if you have the ink pad, if you have the refill, if you have the cardstock, if you have the blend, anything in those colors, you can write on the back. So you could write Pebbled Path on the back. And then you can also write like what we used it for in club. So it'll be a little system for you to be super cute, but also help keep you organized. So I just started this. So this would be, so you'll get 1 or 2 a month. Some months we may get 2. This month we're probably getting 1. I don't know. I haven't done it for sure. But then when you get your loyalty gifts, you're going to get 5. And they will be 5 color combinations that we used in club, but that didn't come in the pack. So on your, every time it is your 6th, 12th, 18th month, the following month when you get your goodie bag, this is going to replace, you get $25 worth of stuff. This will be about a $5 value. So you'll get the tags, you will get the color combinations printed on there, and then you can stick those in there. And so here we have Lost Lagoon and Pool Party, Bubble Bath and Fresh Freesia. I'm going to show you a color that when I did it, I was like, oh, we're going to use that in club this month because it's super pretty. Shaded Spruce and Coastal Cabana, Boho Blue and Misty Moonlight, Pebbled Path and Wild Wheat, Starry Sky and Blueberry Bushel. It just kind of shows you some colors that as you're going through, look how pretty this is. Does that not look like summer? And when I did the Azure and the Coastal Cabana, I'm like, yeah, that's in club. Pecan Pie and Espresso. So this is just kind of like a thing so you could see over time what it will look like. So as we go, after the course of a year, you would have at least 12 from being in club, and then you would have another 10 from your 2 loyalty gifts. So you would have 22. So you'll need to get a little ring and you can start filling those on. So that's a fun little thing. I am going to do a video on how I put these together. I'm not selling them. I'm not giving the stickers. You have to be in club. Only way to get it. So that's that. Now let's get going on today's card. We are going to use Timeless Charm, which I said is an online exclusive. Oh, and with these, this was actually a similar idea was posted on the Stampin' Up! Website. You may have seen it. One of the artisans designed it. So I don't want to take credit for coming up with this. I think she hand wrote hers, but she has beautiful writing. And I knew that these would look pretty no matter what your writing looks like. You can stick those on there. So I did want to say that. I did not invent the idea. So if you want more details on how to make them, you can go over to Stampin' Up! And look at the artisan stuff. Okay, now back to this. I think I've got everything. I'm going to use the Timeless Charm. The other day when I did the Bright card, this one, I didn't use all of the dies because you're buying this without seeing very much of it. If you are in club or if you want to get it before it could potentially go in back order or sell out on this, I would order anything you want online exclusive that your heart is like, if I don't have this, I will be sad. I would get it on the 6th because you just never know. And then some stuff could last for months. Some stuff they may get back in. But online exclusives are a little bit of a different beast than what we've dealt with before. So in this one, we're going to use all the dies. That way you can see all the dies. I'm not going to use all the stamps. The other thing I'm going to do on this project, which I don't often make this many switches, I'm going to switch some of the colors of stuff that we're going to die cut. I am going to switch the mask that I'm using. I'm going to just make a couple of changes. So we'll have 2 cards that both are Petal Pink and Pebbled Path and the same stamp set, but by just tweaking a couple of things, I'm going to switch the ribbon. You can see which one you would like better. So I have some grid paper. We don't sell this small grid paper any longer because it was for the Stamparatus, but you can get the larger one. I don't have room when I'm filming to have it all on my desk. I am going to sponge with the Artistic Mix Decorative Design Masks. On the first card, I used this. And on this one, I'm just going to switch it over. I'm going to use a different pattern just to see what it looks like a little bit different. So I'm going to use this. The other one, I wanted it to kind of look like a fence, but I ended up putting so much stuff on my card that it didn't look like a fence. It just looked like squares because it kind of got covered up. So I am going to take this one in my Petal Pink. And this is the baby brush. I just wanted to show you the 2 separate sizes. I'm just going to sponge. I'm not going to go everywhere, but a lot of it. So this is going to make my card have some vanilla in the back. On the first card, I did the other pattern, and then I also sponged it all directly on Petal Pink paper. So this is going to kind of, I think, brighten the card up a little bit. The other one looks a little bit more vintage. Maybe when we make the swaps, this one will look more vintage. Who knows? I think I'm in a vintage mood because that is the theme of the wedding. The upcoming nuptials will be vintage. And so I've been looking at like dresses, styles, and hairstyles and everything from the 20s. So we have this. Now I'm going to take my Pebbled Path, and these are the exact same things that I just did on here to show the color combination. And then I'll remember, if I like this, you can write on the back of it if it's one that you love or if one you need to try it with. You can write on pencil and just erase things, or you can write in pen and keep it kind of permanent. Now, when you are doing any of these with your brand new pads, especially the blues or the purples, but even with the Pebbled Path, you don't want to press nearly as hard to pick up that ink because you're going to get a ton. So now I'm just going to add a little bit of the Pebbled Path just to kind of give it a little bit of shading. But you can see I am just tapping on that. I am not going very hard. That should be good. Oh yeah, that's pretty. And it is going to change the whole look of the card, but it's going to be the same supplies by just swapping exact same supplies. We're just going to swap them a little bit over. Now I'm going to take my Pebbled Path, which is my card, and that vanilla piece I just used is 3 3 7/8 maybe by 5. I did cut it smaller than I normally do if you're layering this on a card, because I want to see some of this. I'm going to take this, stick it under. Yeah, I'm going to pull this washi tape off, because if you're just getting the edges of a card and the washi tape's there, then you're going to get a square, like a line, and we don't want that. We want some pretty stuff. But remember, on this one, you're just going to see the edge, so I don't need to do the middle. And I don't need to do everywhere, and I don't want to do it all the same pressure or the same amount of ink, because again, we're going vintage. So sometimes I will press harder, like right here. Let's get a nice bright part of that. I haven't showered yet, so I can get my hands all dirty. Trying to get this done so I can get all of the information out to you and be out of the house by noon. Not only is it wedding venue shopping day, my daughter's birthday, of course, you know, she had to be difficult and be born on a holiday. So they are hosting a birthday party tonight. So I have to go pick up the cake for her. I have to take her chairs. I have to take her stuff. So I have to get all that done before we get to the wedding venue. Was not part of my original Monday plans, but moms do what they do, right? So here we go. And of course she's working. I'm just sitting around. Look how pretty this is. So this is already a different look, but we are gonna compare it all when we are done. So now let's do the stamping. We're gonna stick with this theme of vanilla, highlights of gold, and then petal pink and pebble the path. So even if you aren't in club, you're gonna get some of the fun that we get from our color combinations. You'll get to see them. So this is vanilla. I'm going to use my pebbled path. There's no black on this card. You could use black if you wanted to. I think when you stick with the browns, it keeps that vintage theme going a little bit. So I've just layered. They're going to be die cut. Like I said, we're using all the die cuts, so you can just, if you're going faster, just put them on there. So I have that. Then let's do the petal pink. Those are two colors that are really close together to say. And then here is a piece of petal. That's a tongue twister of petal pink cardstock. I'm gonna stamp pink onto pink, color on color. So this is tone on tone. You could always do it with a little bit of a darker pink if you wanted to. We've got those. Trying to remember if that's, I have so many dies on here, I'm trying to remember. And they don't have to be perfect. So that's all the stamping. And then we are going to take our Stella. So on this one, I will just go ahead and add some Stella. That way it can start to dry. But you don't want to do this and immediately put it through your cut and emboss machine, because it might stick to the plate. Stella dries pretty fast. But, you know, like everywhere in the Midwest, we have no rain, no rain, no rain. And then we have an abundance of rain. So we are in the abundance of rain right now. Now I'm going to color these in. I'm still just going to stick with the color combination. So these are the two inks I'm coloring in with. Squish your pad. Get a nice little palette here. You do need to make sure that your Stella has a nice flow of ink coming out. Just going to add all of my little leaf kind of things are going to be the petal pink. I like when we're working with kind of the whimsical designs, because they don't have to be realistic. So you can have a pebble the path and petal pink flower if you want to. Now you can see this is new and it's a dark color. So when I smushed, it got so much more ink. So you just need to be careful. Now with this one, I'm going to start, you can see I picked that up. It's pretty dark. And then I'm going to use my Stella and as it gradually goes away. So all of my petals on this will be a little bit shaded, but I'm not doing any of the work. I'm just letting the Stella do it. So I've got all those done. And now I don't want to leave this pebbled path on here, but I also don't want to waste any of the beautiful Stella. So I'm just going to take on these big ones and I'm just going to clean my brush until it comes off. Now those are done. So now let's do all this fun die cutting. I'm going to show you the die cuts and what I'm going to do, and then I'm going to die cut so you don't have to see. On the first card, I did use, where did I put a piece of it? Well, I'll show you at the end. I used a different gold. On this one, I'm going to use the Distressed Gold. I think it's currently on back order, but it's due in soon. So we'll use some of this. Just a little piece of it, just for some gold highlights. The other one, I did not use this, so this is a change. Then I'm going to use the Pebbled Path paper, and I wanted to show you this paper because I haven't used it much, and I wanted to make sure that you knew what it was. This is the Pebbled Path. It comes in all the in colors. It's the 2023-2025 in color luster paper. So it comes in the colors of the new in colors. So we have the Wild Wheat, the Pebbled Path, the Boho Blue, the Copper, and then the Mauve. Isn't it pretty? But it's not, it's colored on both sides, as you can see. And it's thick, but it's not so thick that it one pass through the die cut machine. Did it? So let's see. We have these leaves, and it will cut 3, and I did those a couple of times. And then we have all of the things. So I'll lay these, well, here, I'll do it this way so I can just put this up here after I show you all the dies. So those leaves, and then we have some flowers. This does that. We have some leaves. I also do some of them, I did some in the Petal Pink. Of the leaves, I did a mix. I'm just going to tell you and then I'll show you. A mix of Petal Pink, vanilla, the highlights of gold, and then this luster paper. So this one goes there. Did I put that on? No, that's that one. This is on the wrong one. Nope. I don't know what that goes on. This one. Sometimes it's just hard. You know, it's Monday and I have a lot to do. This one goes there. Then we have some more leaves. We have, this is my favorite one out of the set. And I do want this to be out of the gold. I might have to cut another piece of gold. Oh no, I'm good. Sometimes you just got to work with how you're layering them on there. It would have helped if I had laid them on to cut. Look, we can even get one of these here. We have some more little flowers or leaves. This, we'll cut this out. And then we have this big one. This is the one I used on the card the other day. And then a single flower that's the same as that flower, so you can make a little bit of a bouquet. So I'll cut all these out and then I'll show you just the variations. And it doesn't even mean if I cut them all, I will use them all. Maybe, we'll see. Okay, I told you I have a new favorite tip. So I'm going to interrupt my die cutting to show you this. So you know when you start to get these things and those things don't pick up, look what this new tip does. It does a couple of things, but it's kind of got a little hook in it. So it just slides those right off. Kind of, I do it with my straight one. This one just tends to work a whole lot better. And then you have all these and you can kind of just get them going. Oops, that's an actual die. And then it also works the same way the other ones do. I just like the angle of it. It's a whole lot easier to work with because see, it just sticks right in there, pulls those out. Super fun, new favorite tip. I'm going to use the fine tip glue for a couple of reasons. One, if I drop something on here and I don't like where it went, then I can switch it. So what you want to do is you want to start with your largest designs and kind of not only your largest, the ones, like I want the ones I stamped and took the color, the time to color to be on top. So you notice those. The golds can kind of just be highlights that we poke in at the end. So they're all spaced nicely. So let's start with these two because these are kind of just fill-ins. So just put a little bit, you can go back later and add some glue anywhere it looks like it's not sticking. And remember, this has plenty of space. So I'll show you before you all start thinking I'm making everything go off my card. See, we have enough space for it to kind of spray out a little bit on the edges and even at the top if we need to. So we'll start with these two because they kind of match. So enough glue that it's going to hold it, but I'm not pressing down and I can move it if I need to. So now let's go with these two tall pieces because they can go way up here. They don't have to go, because we have enough pieces that we can make the center come together without all these having to be right on center. Let's do that. These have such fun little cuts in all of the dies. So they're all die cut and then they have some embossing and other fancy cuts. The thing that you don't want at the very end is to have all these stems showing. So our goal is to cover up stems. I did 2 of these. On my other card, I just did 1. And on my other card, because I used the other paper, those stayed in. So it's a little bit more of a solid design, but I love this. So I decided there was extra space on the pink that I was going to do it. Okay, now, so here I have this gold one. And I don't want it to keep it in the same spot. And I want the gold to be more spread out over the card because I don't have a lot. My card is Pebbled Path and Petal Pink. So if you're going to a wedding or something and you know the bride's colors, you can try to get this so I can see a little bit more of that. But you know, whenever you have a flower arrangement, you don't see all of the things, right? Now, mostly what we have left now is little things and then our main focus design. So you can leave your tip off your fine tip glue as long as you are not going to be forever with it. So here is one that we've painted. Now these are all going to be on top. And I'm using the tiny dimensionals. Every month in Card Club, they can add an adhesive pack when they need adhesive. Whenever you're in my Card Club and you buy the stamps or you buy the bundle, whatever you buy that month, I pay your shipping and handling and tax. So that's one of the best perks, I think. But I do the same if you buy the adhesive bundle. This month I have, because I've been using a bunch of different adhesives, so the fine tip glue will be in that. I'm going to have July only, a special adhesive packet. So now we have these little guys. And again, they have the baby dimensional, so if you don't push hard, you can pick them up. Nothing is pushed yet, so everything can be moved. And then we have one more of these. And then we just have a lot of leaves left, which will do great to help fill all this in. You need the tiny ones because that first one can have a big dimensional, but after that, you get both sizes of dimensionals in the adhesive packet because you need both. But in the special one, you're going to get the black because the black is a great thing to have on hand and it comes with both sizes. So now let's do our gold because there's not a ton of gold stuff, although I did cut a little bit more of it than I did on my first card. But you want it spaced nicely. So just kind of, there's gold, gold. Let's do a gold here. And you want to make sure, like I said, that all these little tips are getting, the ends of your stems are getting tucked under nicely. So now the gold is kind of placed, and we have these little ones that we can mess with at the end. Now I might not use all of these leaves, but I did on the other card. I thought I wasn't going to use them, and next thing you know, used them all. So here's 2 of the big leaves. Now I'm going to take one of the small in the petal pink. And stick it so you kind of have a bouquet of all the colors of leaves. We still have this one, which is kind of a big one. And I've waited because, again, you want some of the Pebbled Path larger pieces kind of spread out. And this one's easy to tuck behind. These are not getting tucked anywhere close to where the other ones were. This up. I found that new tip. This one is also good for pulling these up if you need to. Because on this card now, I have another card I can look at. So I kind of know where I'm going. These have stayed in. I'm not going to punch those out. I kind of like the way that looks. So But when you do it that way, you do need to make sure that you have glue on not just the inside parts, because I have seen where the outside didn't get stuck, and the next thing you know, after the card's been through a bunch of people looking at it, all you have left are those inside pieces, and this actually falls off. This one's way up high on my other card. I've run out of way up high room, so we're gonna do it down here. And then we have, still doing these leaves. See, that one fell out just from trying to glue it on. I was gonna leave it if it stayed, but. And we're just sticking all those stems under. One more of these, and I have a spray of leaves and a spray of leaves, so I'm going to get all three colors on this over here. Stick that under. Isn't that, it's so much fun to do. Now, on my other card, I don't know that I'm going to do it because I'm switching ribbon, but I have 3 of the little things, and then this time I did them in gold, so I'm going to leave those 4 out. Then I'm going to move those over there, and after we get our ribbon on, we'll kind of decide what to do. So on the first card, Pebbled Path, I used the In Color jute. I love this stuff. And I untwisted it, which I've done on other cards. You can untwist it like that, and it gets a little frayed. And I put that across the bottom. Isn't that fun? But I wanted to show you a different Pebbled Path. So this is also an In Color collection that you can get all of them, and it's the textured ribbon. So on the other one, I made the little spray out of this. I'm actually going to do a bow on this one, so I don't know. That's why I haven't glued these things on, because I'm not sure where I'm going to put them. So this ribbon ties really nicely. It's nice and flat. So we have this. I think it's a little bit smaller, so my thing, and I don't want my ribbon to compete with my flowers. Perfect. This I am going to use my, it's got some, the jute stuck on here. It looks like it's hair. It's not hair, it's jute. I'm gonna get those tips in there because those are good where they are. That will help hold all this together. I love that I'm gonna be able to show you by, you have to be careful when you do this because remember, a lot of this is just kind of being held on loosely. But this card is same supplies, switching the colors around, switching our gold accent color, switching the ribbon, but same color. Put my adhesive here. I'm gonna make sure that I get a bunch of adhesive right here to hold that ribbon on. The other one I also ran through the die cut machine, but I didn't think it needed it. It's kind of fun, and you can do it if you want, and it gives this piece here some texture. Got that jute everywhere since I picked it up. It all fell out. Now let's go back and add these. Now we have all these little ones. Any place that looks like it's a little bit empty, which this one's filled out pretty well, you can add some. And if you don't need them all, don't use them all. Put this one on and then we'll kind of have a look at it. So you can see over here, Pebbled Path, Pebbled Path, Pebbled Path. There's not any over here. So you have this tiny little one, and we'll just stick it right here, and it kind of balances the card out. Oops, this is why you don't put much glue on. Now I have glue on my hands. You know, you get to that point and then it's sticking to you. So we have these. I might make this a little fuller down here. There we go. Now, right here, there's a little bit of a smudge. It's not actually a smudge. It's just where I didn't do very much of the pebbled path. So to fix that, I'm not going to put any more ink on here. And I'm just going to add a little bit of smudgy all the way around. Then that kind of covers that up. It's where when I picked the mask up, it had ink on it. And it didn't do the whole thing because I didn't press hard down there. It's where it was holding. But now it's fine. Goes with that vintage feel. I am going to take just 2 stamp pads now. And we'll lay this on here, and then we'll lay this here. And then we'll look at the other card, and we'll go back and put the embellishments. So here it is. Same card. On this one, I used the, I don't remember what it's called. It's the 2-pack of the, you would think that it's totally gone. So it's the other die, other mask with the folder. And then you can see I am going to go back and put the Wink of Stella on some of my images here. Maybe you can see them. And then here's the jute. So I'm going to use the same embellishments. So the embellishments for this that I use, these are the ones that I wanted to be my gift with purchase this month, but they're not due until the last month of July, and that scares me. But they're in color. I feel like I haven't used the in colors a whole lot because I was gone the month that they came out, and then now we have all these colors. The blue is missing, so you also get boho blue, but it took tons and tons of these packets. There's one pack that has the boho. Maybe that's a new packet. To make my projects for Try It because they needed the blue. Is this a new one? Here we go. That's a little bit better. So I have lots of packages of these. So if you are, when you get my VIP videos, expect to be getting some of these in your projects. That's how I often determine what I use, is what's left over from classes. So now let's add these. So on the other one, you can see I put these 2 as an afterthought in the centers of this flower, and then later I was like, well, that one doesn't have one. So let's start with 3 in the centers of our flowers. That was going to give us a nice odd number, a different way than I did it the first time. 1, 2, just got it on the ribbon. See, I'm just going to use this little shepherd's hook thing all the time. I like it. So there's 3. So now I'm going to use 2 of the other size. There's the medium, and here's the large. Super pretty. And then this one doesn't really need it, so I'm not going to do it. This one, you can see I added 2 or 3 of the little butterflies because I wanted more gold on it. This didn't end up being as gold as what I'd hoped it would be, so I just added the butterflies to get a little bit more gold. Now what you want to do is you want to do the test to make sure everything has stuck. It looks pretty good. And you can just take your fine tip glue if you want and kind of angle it in there any place. But I like it to have lift, so I don't want to glue everything. I don't want to put, I know some people like to put adhesive sheets on it. I don't want it to be all stuck flat to the card. I love it like this. I think this, if you are going to a shower or a wedding, this summer, you could just wrap your package in just some vanilla. Just go get vanilla paper, wrap your present in it, or you can get a gift bag in just vanilla. I like to use some neutral colors and just stick this on. It doesn't need to be in an envelope. And then I think gift tables at weddings look so sad these days because most people have already sent it or they just bring a card. So I always, even if I've done that, I always get a little something so I have something to put on the gift table. And then I make the bag pretty. So this on even a craft colored bag would be super pretty. There you go. If you are in club, you will get an email. Hopefully later today. I have to see how much time I have before I get out to the mom errands, but you will have it in time for the 6th to make your selections. If you're interested in club, there's a club page. Right now it's still showing June because I'm working on this, but you can subscribe. It doesn't matter what month it is. And then you will also get the email to add this stuff on. So everybody have a wonderful holiday and enjoy time with your friends and family. Catch you back here later. Bye.